There he is.
Yeah.
What's up, guy? How are you?
Hey, good. How about you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Can't get better than a Friday, huh?
I know, right? Just,
All right. Well, oh shit. I gotta have my notes. I almost put my notes away.
is my audio coming in good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, good. Okay, awesome.
All right. Well, we're here with Buckley's Angels, Mike Kelly, right?
Hello, that's me.
And we're celebrating the new album, Pinnacle Room.
Pinnacle Room. It's 1 week old today.
But I wanted to start with something I noticed on your TikTok that sort of I found interesting. The teenage bottle rocket apology. Like, what kind of bullshit was that?
That I mean, I can't believe it. It was just the most like tone deaf, just terrible thing I've ever seen. As of apology, just completely just skirting the issue. I don't know if you heard the podcast enough, but it's not good, not good stuff.
I just don't. I mean, for them to even try to make like statements or like take a hard stance on something, to me, it's just silly because guess what, man? There's not a line out the door waiting to go see Teenage Bottle Rocket in concert. Like, that's just not happening. So
Right.
maybe you guys should chill the fuck out before you start alienating your fans.
I mean, just doing that. So that post is one thing, but then going around and just like acting like nothing's happened. And like, I don't know if you've taken a look, but I know that they're like probably deleting comments because every comment is just like nothing ever happened. And it's just like, that's kind of weird. I don't know. Very strange. And I mean, and I have been a fan of Teenage Bottle Rock. I've seen them many times. And it's just I had no idea that they had this dark of a fucked up past, you know.
And
So
I've literally
it's disappointing. Really, yeah. No, it's not good. But the response to it from a lot of people that I care about has been good. Just fuck that band. Just like, I want nothing to do with that band. If you're cool with them, and I want nothing to do with you. So I mean, that's the one positive side to it.
It seems like they were bored this quarantine, huh? It's just like they were bored.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
really messed up.
Yeah. So I want to start with the name, Buckley's Angel. Am I getting the right feeling?
Yes.
Is that King of the Hill?
That is absolutely a King of the Hill reference.
Okay. Woo! I thought I was crazy.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's so funny because like most people are just like, okay, Buckley's Angel, but there's like with every post, there's at least like one person who's just like, great reference. I'm like, yes, that's for you. I don't know that ever since I was a kid. I mean, I'm a huge King of the Hill fan, but ever since I saw that episode, I was a kid. It's just a weirdly fascinating, weirdly compelling kind of character arc for Buckley. So it's like, that's a cool band name. So I've actually held on to that band name for years, and I finally started doing solo stuff. I'm like, I have to name the project Buckley's Angel.
Yeah. And I love all of Mike Judd. Mike Judge has been a real big staple in my life.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
he's responsible for a bunch of, in my opinion, great cartoons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Characters, and Buckley, my favorite cartoon character, of all time is Carl from Aqua Teen. And,
okay, yeah.
And Buckley is, weird enough, I named him as my second favorite.
No, we have a serious?
podcast. Yeah.
And my God. Wow. Okay.
Because it's just a fun character, and
very fun.
And some of the writing that goes on with it, although it's like real dense and silly, it's also creative and very funny. And
absolutely. I mean, just the whole like writing style and character arc with a lot of these King of the Hill episodes. Like it's fantastic and it holds up too. Like I've talked to so many people who like I've always loved King of the Hill. But a lot of people like came onto it late, like in early adulthood, and they're just like, I had no idea that this show was so good. I'm like, yeah, it gets a bad rap, and that really bums me out. Well, not a bad rap. It just kind of gets it. It doesn't get the recognition it deserves.
And I
You know?
think it's characterized too because like, oh, those are just hillbillies. Who
No,
gives a fuck?
totally, and it's just like just the whole like character of Hank Hill, like yeah, he's like closed-minded, but almost every episode he kind of has like an epiphany and becomes like less and less closed-minded in a weird way. I don't know.
It's like the
It's
opposite of my dad.
right. Same.
Well, my dad gets more closed-minded as every episode of his life goes on.
I feel like that's everyone's real life dad, unfortunately. How everyone goes. Yeah.
So talk to me about music. How long have you been doing music, and what made the Buckley's Angel project come to life?
Yeah, so I have been playing in a band now 10 years almost to the day. I started out in college. I never really was musically inclined, really, like as a kid. I put up like I started guitar lessons. I like dropped it in grade school and all that stuff, and then I really started going to shows, particularly ska shows. I grew
I
up as a
love
ska
ska
kid.
shows.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of ska shows. Kind of that was my thing in high school, just going to shows and stuff, and then from that point, I got to college. I'm like, I need to start a band. I need to learn how to play guitar. So, got a Telecaster for my 19th birthday. Just a standard Telecaster, and just taught myself how to play. Um, my my best friend at the time, who was my roommate for 3 years, we really liked Rancid. That was our like bond. We liked all the same bands pretty much, and he played bass. I played guitar. We got two more guys. And we started a band. So that was like my first kind of college band. We're called Sloppy Job, actually. Um, just a a standard first punk band. Um, graduated, came back to San Diego. That's where I'm from, and then joined Ash Williams, which is kind of like they started off as kind of a folk punk band, which is cool. But as I joined, we kind of started this weird kind of almost black metal kind of flavored punk. Um, and then that's really when I started to start dipping my toe into touring. So I did my first tours. Flew to the East Coast, did a few shows there, and just kind of learned how to really be in like a semi-serious band. So just played for about 5-6 years with Ash Williams. And then that kind of fizzled out about a year ago. And I had all this time on my hands. We were just starting to make a really cool record, and like I still had all those creative juices, and the band kind of came to an end. So I had all this energy, all this momentum, and I didn't want to squander it. So I just started. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a completely 180. I'm gonna record songs that are a little bit different. I'm kind of not really listening to punk super that much at this point, and just kind of started writing a little bit more chill songs. And that's how this DP came about. I just sat down last summer and just wrote all these songs, and like I got to record these.
We didn't have nothing else better to do in California,
Right,
though.
exactly. Right. Just yeah. So it was nice because
How do you go from punk to like shoegaze? like I am a punk guy,
right.
but I do love shoegaze. But how do you?
It's
how
just
do-
that it's
how
just
do
that
you do a
one.
connection?
It's that one weird album that you get that just kind of like changes your trajectory. Weirdly, and like I've always had like a weird introduction to punk. My parents kind of like I kind of grew up on punk in a weird way. So I've always been into punk, but just over the years, I started listening to bands like Beach Fossils and, bands like Acid Ghost and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? This is really cool. This makes me feel nice. I want to start writing like this. And it was also a challenge too. I'm like, I really want to try to write, something outside of the traditional bounds of just like a punk song. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, there are punk songs that are incredibly complex and just brilliant in their own right. But I just wanted to see. I wanted to prove to myself, honestly, that I can hang with these bands that I'm starting to really get into. That's kind of where I'm at now. Just a little bit more away from the punk scene, but I mean, I'll always love punk more than anything. But just challenge myself with a new genre, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it is, it's a signs of a true artist, you know what I mean? Wanting to experiment, what can you do, push your limits,
Right.
and see what your limits are. And
Yeah.
that's a real awesome thing.
Right. Yeah. And especially with just vocal styles as well. I've never really like sang softly before. I've always, I've sang in bands before, like Ash Williams. It's a little bit more singing, screaming, and just doing a completely different vocal delivery was also just another really fun yet kind of scary thing.
Nice. Yeah. This project, Buckley's Angel, this album in particular, Pinnacle Room, it's really a vibe.
Yeah.
It's one of those music and those albums that you can put on and not have the TV on, in the dark, and maybe have a smoke.
Absolutely.
Just relax.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's all. Thanks so much. That's the one thing that people have told me about it. Just that one word, vibe, and that makes me super, super happy because that's exactly what I was going for.
That's what I have.
There's definitely intention behind that.
One word is vibe, and I
Vibe.
knew what I was going with. Like in my notes, I just put vibe.
Vibe.
And then I went off of that.
Yeah. Great.
If you can, tell me a little bit about Pinnacle Room. The creation of it. We know that it happened in summer of 2020. And then maybe a cool story off of it, as well as any challenges you had in the creation of the album.
Absolutely. Well, I'm such a early 2000s TV nerd. Pinnacle Room is actually a reference to a old CBS sitcom, Yes Dear. Just a really obscure episode about, the main character just remembers this restaurant called the Pinnacle Room. He thought it was super great when he was a kid, and then he came back and then it was like kind of a dump. So that was it's kind of the concept as a whole of the album. It's kind of, topics of, I'm from San Diego, born and raised, moving up to LA, just feeling weird about that, with being away from my friends and just trying to find, my purpose up here, particularly because it's a little bit disorienting living up in LA. And this was kind of like my way, especially in the midst of, what's been going on over the past year and a half. It was just a weird kind of cauldron of weird kind of emotions. And, I'm up here in a pretty nice part of LA, not because I'm rich or anything. It's just, what's across the street. And it just kind of was that vibe that I had that I wanted to kind of create, just very, just kind of chill, but also things aren't that chill, kind of trying to bridge that. So, I had a pretty set, 1 song, 2 song, 3 song, 4 song. I know what each wanted to be about. So wrote all of the music for it first. I'm weird like that in the sense that I just write all the music for it and then I fill in vocals afterwards. So really the biggest challenge was not actually writing the music, because it was really nice because, I just had all this time. My job is super slow. So I just legit just sat, for hours and just making these demos, just putting layer after layer after layer of guitar. Cause I'm just like, I've never done this before. Let's just stack a bunch of stuff on guitar and see if it works over like a drum machine. And these songs slowly started forming. That's when the real challenge was actually, okay, like I know how to write like the music parts. How do I sing this stuff? I've never really sang this before. And it was just honestly just getting comfortable enough to actually even record demos. Honestly, like I went down to the practice space. I like locked the door. I made sure that no one was going to be, because I'm really self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
And it was just trying to find the vocal delivery was super, super challenging for me. And especially layering it, because I don't know if you kind of caught that on the actual record itself, but there's my vocal delivery and then also me singing falsetto in the background, matching it. That was really scary because that sounds really weird when you're singing it like isolated in your head.
I do parody songs. Yeah. I know.
Okay. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. So just trying to do that in like a way where, I thought that it was going to be good enough to show my friends to actually get in a studio with me and actually put it to actual recordings. So a lot of the challenges were just kind of self-esteem. But I just I went through with it. I'm like, fuck it. I hope you guys like it. And they helped me make, it's all Matt Caskitt. He's in I'm in his band, Matt Caskitt and the Breaks. He's a fantastic drummer, fantastic songwriter. He was just able to go in the studio, just lay down some really cool, just really full sounding drums. I recorded it at a Defiant Robot Records with my good friend Wade Morris. He's the only reason why I was able to record it, because he's just so patient. And he kind of co-produced it with my other good friend Ricky Schmidt. He's from Western Settings and Hey Chels. He was able to get in there and do some really, really, really cool ideas. We did a little bit of pre-production. It all came together. I don't know if that answered your question. I feel like I was talking for for an hour.
We're good.
Yeah.
And I guess in my last, let me make sure I went out of order. I started.
No, totally fine.
All right. So my last question is: do you know who the UFC WWE superstar Brock Lesnar is?
I just started watching UFC actually, but that name is so familiar, but I could not put a name to a face. No.
Okay. So all right.
Sorry.
No, go. He doesn't know who you are. I'm joking. He's not.
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, no, I know you.
All right. So my question is, who do you think would win in a fight to the death?
Okay.
A guy with his feet glued to a skateboard, or a guy with his butt glued to a bike?
Okay. So they're both fighting each other. So the guy with the butt glued to the bike, he has that bike as kind of like a shield kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I would.
Bike for sure.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking. Bike.
I would say the guy with the skateboard, because I've seen some, like, I just started watching UFC just because my neighbor's really into it, so I go over there like every Saturday. I've seen a lot of broken bones recently with like kicks. So if the skateboarder gets like a good kick, then maybe. But that bike as a shield, no, game over.
Like if someone's trying to come
offensively too.
Yeah, if someone's trying to come at me with a skateboard, I'm gonna knock them off the skateboard and then ride the bike on top of them.
Right.
You still have your legs.
But it's glued, right? Glued to your shoes or your feet?
No, with you can't take them off.
Okay.
But the guy in the bike, he can kick him if he comes by, or even punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, so I think we're on the right page.
No contest.
My man, yeah. Mike, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.
This will be a good. This will go in our October issue.
Awesome.
And I loved hanging out with you.
Yeah, no, honestly, this was a fantastic interview. I'm so glad I met someone who appreciates King of the Hill. That's amazing.
My man.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good one.
And good luck with the album.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.